Hi, everyone. My name is Diane Yetter, and I am the founder of the Sales Tax Institute. And I'm here today to invite you to join me and a group of amazing sales tax nerds at our upcoming Advanced Sales and Use Tax Workshop. We'll be in New Orleans this year, and we will be there from February 28th to March 1st. It's a great event and a great time to really dig in deep about sales tax issues that are hot today and important to so many people. What makes the Advanced Sales Tax Workshop different from most other conferences you might go to? It's a deep dive. Each of our topics are about 2 hours in length, which really allows you time to not just hear what a presenter has to say, but to actually have it be an interactive discussion with not only the facilitator, but also all of your fellow peers attending. Our classes are purposefully small to allow for that conversation and for that engagement that allows all of us to learn from each other. We've got great topics on tap for this year. We are going to cover AI. We are going to dig into the ethics, the protocols, the policies, as well as look at a lot of different AI tools, both generically or generally that you can use, things like ChatGPT and Claude and Copilot from Microsoft, but also looking at what tools do some of the tax engines have and specific sales tax tools. So super excited about that topic. We're going to talk about digital products. How are states and localities tackling digital products, and how are they trying to tax them? How are they categorizing them? This is something that is front and center. Clearly, a state like Georgia that just started taxing digital products today is important to keep in mind. Then we're going to dig into local taxes and registrations, talking about not just the home rule locals, the nightmares like Colorado and Louisiana and Alabama, but also state administered locals that may differ from the general sales tax. We're going to talk about business licenses at the local level and what are some of those things that you need to think about. We'll also tackle exemption management. So, not only what is a valid exemption, how do you claim it, what do you do with it, but how do you really manage those different types of exemptions that your customers may be claiming from you, whether they are resale exemptions because they are an exempt entity or an exempt use like a manufacturing or R&D. There are some interesting nuances, particularly in the resale category, for what qualifies. So we're going to dig into all of those, as well as tackling those best practices of how you should manage the requesting of exemption certificates, but also issuing them. So if you are a business that issues out a lot of certificates, we'll talk about that side. For our manufacturers, we are going to dig into some manufacturing exemptions, what's new and what's not. We're going to look at some specific things about new technology that is used in manufacturing and how does that fit into the exemptions. We'll look out for when there is mixed usage type of equipment. What do we need to think about? How do you claim those exemptions? What's the best way to think about that? And then also some of those real nuances in what can qualify as manufacturing. There are some, one-off states like Texas that something like an ice machine in a restaurant can actually be manufacturing. So even if you don't normally think of yourself as manufacturing, if you modify or do anything to your products, to your raw materials, maybe in some states you are. Come learn where those might be. And then we will go into tax credits and refunds and adjustments. How do you deal with these? How should you process them on your returns? How do you deal with bad debts? How do you deal with product returns? Can you carry those credits over and apply them to a current return? Recent findings in California came out that you can't do that. They call them kind of like self-reported exemptions and credits, and they don't want you to do that anymore. Are there other states that you have to be worried about with that? What is practical and what do you need to watch out for? So those are going to be what we call our 6 deep dive topics. So like I said, those are going to be 2+ hours. The AI topic is going to be one of our longer topics, so we have time to get into some demos. of those different products. But added to that, for those of you that register, you're going to be asked for two things. One, what is your industry specialization, and what would you like to hear about from an industry for your top topics? And we're going to go through and give you legislative updates, court cases, as well as some audit and operational best practices. So we do those based on the attendees. So we usually do about 4 of those. And back again this year, we've done it once before, our potpourri roundtable. So how often do you sign up for a conference and wish, gosh, I wish they could just spend a little bit of time talking about something? And that's what our potpourri roundtables are. So these are going to be shorter topics that will be mixed in with our industry updates and our deep dive topics. And these are your choices. So we are looking for attendees to submit their questions. We've already got a topic. We're going to talk about some audit issues. So that is one, and probably talking about some different technology questions that people have. So here's an opportunity for you to even kind of self-create what you would like us to talk about at the advanced workshop. So we would love to have you join us. Registration is still open. Spots are available, but we are filling fast. So don't miss out. We only do this session once a year, live in person. So make sure you join us in New Orleans, February 28th to March 1st. Sign up now and don't miss out on these great opportunities to learn and interact with your fellow sales tax nerds. Any questions, reach out to me or anybody on our team, or post your questions below and we will get right back to you. Hope to see you in New Orleans. Bye-bye.